Hello, it's Sonia from The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel, and today for this project I am going to be using my eye hook or 5.5 millimeter, and I will be using worsted weight yarn or number 4. But with this project you could also use DK weight yarn. For the prototype of this project I already had made one. I used DK weight yarn, but I wanted to see how it would look in worsted weight, and I think it's nice in either weight yarn, so whatever you have on hand. I learned in the UK there's not that much worsted weight available. The DK weight is their go-to, so I want everybody to be able to make it if they want to. So DK weight is a great choice as well. It just will change the finished, how large it'll be at the end, but it's not going to be that big of a difference. It's for a baby, they're tiny. And you can still use the same hook. For my prototype of the DK weight yarn, I did use a 5.5 millimeter hook or eye hook. So what you're going to want to do to start this project, you are going to want to chain 146 chains. Unfortunately, foundation stitches will not work for your first row. I know some projects you can use foundation stitches and you can avoid the long chain, but for this one you can't. And also the stitch pattern that we'll be making up, the bulk of the blanket is stitch pattern number 11. So if you just wanted to, look at the stitch pattern and play around with it, I can put a link down below. It's stitch pattern number 11. I'm going to show you a swatch because the stitch pattern you're just going to be repeating rows 2 and 3. So I'm going to just show you, instead of my long 146 chains, I'm just going to chain 14, but you will want to chain 146. So I'm going to chain right here. Okay, so I have my 14 chains. Pretend they're 146 chains. And what we are going to do is we are going to work in the second chain from our hook. And you can work in your chain however you would like. And we're going to work a single crochet. And then you're going to skip 2 chains. So 1, 2, and then your next chain is going to be a double crochet. Oops. Yeah, alrighty. It doesn't want to be a double crochet, but it's going to be a double crochet. So double crochet, and we are going to create a V-stitch. Now this is going to be a very wide V-stitch. Usually a V-stitch would be double crochet, chain 2, double crochet, but we're going to chain 3, or double crochet. Yeah, did I say that right? Yeah. So we're going to chain 3. And we're going to work a double crochet right back in that same stitch. So we're creating a very wide V-stitch. And I will also have a written pattern for this, and I will get it tested. So we are going to skip 2 chains and work a single crochet in the next chain. So as I said before, this is stitch pattern number 11, and I just thought it was so pretty that I really, wanted to make a blanket out of it, and I'll probably have a shawl pattern coming out for that as well, are using the stitch pattern. Alright, anyway, we're going to skip 2 chains again, and we're going to work a V-stitch in this next one. So our double crochet, chain 3, and double crochet. And maybe this stitch pattern has an actual name, I really don't know. As I've said before in some other videos, I'm really not very good with stitch pattern names. That's why I number mine. If I know the name, I'll put it, but if I don't, I just give it a number, and that's just how I roll. Alright, so now we're at the end here. So you're going to have 3 chains left. You're going to skip 2 and work a double crochet at the end. So when you get to the end of your 146 chains, if you have made sure you skipped the proper amount of chains, you're going to have 3 chains left, and then you're going to work a single crochet. So at the end of your row 1, so this is my swatch, you're going to have a whole lot more. You're going to have 24 V-stitches, and then you will have 25 single crochet at the end of your row 1. So now we're going to get ready for row 2, and then this is when the repeat's going to start. So you will be repeating rows 2 and 3. So row 1 here is your setup row, and then rows 2 and 3 will be the repeats. and row 1 is your right side. So this is the right side. So an easy way to remember the right side is you will always, your right side will always end with a single crochet. So now we are going to chain 4 for row 2. So I've chained 4 and I'm going to turn my work. So row 2, this chain 4 is going to count as a double crochet and a chain 1 space. So now you're going to work a double crochet right in the same stitch right here. So this is like a mini V stitch here that we're making. So we have our double crochet, chain 4, and then this is our double crochet. So what you're going to do next is you're going to single crochet around your chain 3 space. And then in the single crochet here, you're going to work your V stitch. So all the single crochets, you're going to work a V stitch. So here's our double crochet. Need some more yarn. So we are going to chain 3 and double crochet right back in that single crochet there from row 1. So we have created our V stitch. And now we're going to single crochet around the chain 3 space. So now I am already at the end of this row, but your next stitch would of course be a single crochet, and you would work your V stitch or double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, and then you would come across another chain 3 space and you would single crochet around it. And then when you get to the end of your row, you will have one single crochet left. So what you're going to do is we want to mimic this side here. So we are going to double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet right back in that space. And then you have completed row 2. So now we're ready for row 3. So once you know row 2 and row 3, you're good to go for, as I said, the body of the pattern, like the center of the blanket. And we're going to have 2 different edging designs for this. So there's going to be a lacier edging and then one that's more simple. So you could make this for either a boy or a girl. Alright, so we are going to chain 1 and turn. You could also use different colors if you want. It's completely up to you. Okay, so I've chained 1 and we're going to single crochet right in that same stitch. So we're on row 3, and as I said before, rows 2 and 3 are the repeat. So we chained 1 in that space. Now we're back to our single crochet here, and we're going to work our V stitch. So your double crochet, chain 3, double crochet right in that same stitch to create our very wide V stitch here. And now we're going to single crochet around the chain 3 space. And we're back to another single crochet, so we're creating our V stitch. So double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. And now we are at the end of our row. So again, you're going to make a whole lot more of these. So your next stitch would be a single crochet around your chain 3 space, and then your V stitch and your next single crochet. You'll keep going till you get to the end here. So now we are at the end where we did the chain 4 double crochet. So what you're going to want to do is double crochet on top of the chain 3. So here is the chain 1 space because we want it to look the same as this guy, and you're going to skip that chain there and work your single crochet on top of the double crochet. We're making it into a double crochet there. So now you have completed row 3, and as I said before, all your odd rows or the rows that end with a single crochet are the right side. So then what you're going to do is rows 4 through 77, you're going to repeat rows 2 and 3 of the stitch pattern. Alright, so now we're going to get ready to do the edging. So as you can see, here is my blanket. I have worked 77 rows, so now we're going to get ready to do this lacy edging. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1, and we're going to work 3 single crochet right, and this is going to be our corner. So 1, 2, and 3. So what you're going to want to do for when you're working the edging is you're going to want to use stitch markers. So to start with, this is our corner here of our edging, and in the middle single crochet that we made in these 3 single crochet, I'm going to put a stitch marker because I want to mark that as my corner, because you want certain stitches in the corner. So if that's not right, then it's going to throw off the whole thing. So there's going to be the setup round, because we're working in rounds, is a lot of single crochet, so you want to make sure that your stitch counts are right, and using stitch markers is really going to help you so you don't have to think it's hard. Okay, so I've marked my corner stitch with my stitch marker, and now we're going to start working down the side. So this is, we're right side facing. These are the edges of all of our rows that we did, and we want to work 140. So we're not going to count this guy here. So we're going to work a single crochet. It's going to be our first stitch. So that can be tricky because we're going to work 140 all the way down to our corner. Where is she? So here is the corner. So we're going to work 140 down to here, to this corner here. So what I like to do to kind of help me out, so 140 divided by 2 is 70. So I will put a stitch marker in the middle. So if you fold it in half, okay, so I'm trying to give you a bird's eye view here of what I mean. So here we've established our corner here. We worked our 3 single crochet, and now I am folding my blanket, and I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of working room, in half to the next corner. So we're going to stitch all the way down to this corner here. So a lot of people struggle with having your stitches even, because a lot of times the pattern will say just single crochet 140 stitches evenly to next corner. Well, you know, that's kind of hard to figure that out. So if you kind of break it up a little bit, so I'm folding it in half here. So right here is half of this row here. So I'm going to place a stitch marker there. So you will want to, oops, I've done 2 of them. And I'm just using scrap pieces of yarn. I mean, you can certainly use real stitch markers if you have them. So I'm going to mark that as the halfway point to my next corner. So you would want to work 70 stitches from there to there, and that's still kind of, you know, a big space. So why don't we split that even in half again, so then that would be in fourths. So I'm just going to fold this down. So there we go, and I'm going to mark that here. I'm hoping this makes a little bit of sense, because then half of 70 is 35. So I'm popping another stitch marker. And you don't have to do this. You could just, you know, hopefully, you know, try to single crochet 140 down, but, you know, you do want it to be as evenly as possible. So now we have a much smaller area. So I'm going to stitch single crochet 35 to here. Then I know I need to do 35 to here, and I'm at my midway point. I'm at 70, and then I'll do the same thing here. Okay, so I have my stitch markers in place. So I've marked it from here to here. I want to fit 35 stitches. So as I said before, we have our corners marked. And we do want to crochet, single crochet a total of 140. So as I said before, don't count this stitch here. We're going to count this next one as stitch 1. 2, so I'm just crocheting down the edges, so you could put 2, 3, however you think. Alright, so I'm working on my edging here. I just wanted to show you So this is where we started. Here's our corner that we marked. And then I've worked 35 stitches to this stitch marker here. So I'm almost to my halfway point here. So now I need to work 35 more, because then this will be the halfway point, and then I'll have 70. So I just wanted to kind of show you what that looks like so that you can space out your stitches. Okay, so I've come to my corner here. I have worked my 140 down the side, my first side here. So now we are going to work another corner. So you're going to work 3 single crochet to mark your corner, and in that center stitch, so this is stitch 1, stitch 2, so I'm going to mark that because that's the center stitch. So you want to mark all your corners to make sure when it comes time for round 2 that you work in your corner. So just think of the corners as their own separate entities, I guess, in this pattern. So there's my center stitch marked for my corner, and then this is stitch 3. So the second corner is finished. So now we're going to work 140 single crochet across the bottom here of our blanket. This was actually, row 1 here. So I'm going to do the same thing as I showed you before. I'm going to place my stitch markers so that I can work 140 evenly to the next corner. So I will work my 140, or place my stitch markers first, then work my 140, and I will meet you back. Okay, I've worked my next set of 140 single crochet across, and now I'm ready to make my next corner. So single crochet 3 times to form the corner. So this is our third corner, and I'm going to again put a stitch marker in my center stitch. So when you're done, you should have 4 stitch markers each in your center stitch of your corners to mark your corners. And we are going to repeat what we did the other 2 times of working our 140 single crochet across. So I'm going to work my 140 across this other side of the blanket, and then I will work 1 more corner, and then I'll work 140 single crochet across, and then I will be ready to join. So I'm going to finish that up and I will meet you back. So just make sure when you do your other corner that you mark the middle stitch there. Okay, so I have finished working my single crochet around, so I've got my 140 here, and now I am ready to join in my last stitch and get ready for round 2. So at the end of round 1, you are going to have a total of 560 single crochet, and then you're going to have 12 stitches for the corner, because we have 3 stitches in each corner, so 3 times 4 is 12. So 560 plus 12 is 572. So you're going to have a total of 572 stitches all the way around, and all your corners should be marked, so you can see mine marked right there. So now we're going to join in our first stitch to complete round 1. That stitch is crunched up in there. There we go. Alright, so now we have completed round 1. So now I'm going to get ready for round 2. So I'm going to pop out this stitch marker, marking my corner, and I'm going to slip stitch into that corner stitch right there. Alright, so now I am going to chain 3, and we are going to begin round 2. So there's my chain 3, and I'm going to work we're going to work 4 double crochet in this stitch, and this chain 3 counts as a stitch for a total of 5. So there is stitch number 2, 3, 4, and stitch 5. So I have my 5 double crochet here. I've worked in my corner stitch right there. I'm going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to skip 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to single crochet in the next stitch. And I'm going to work 7 more single crochet for a total of 8. So there is number 2. stitch number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there is stitch number 8. So we'll do a quick check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we got our 8 stitches. So now we're going to chain 4 again and skip 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and in our next stitch we're going to double crochet. And we're going to work 4 more double crochet for a total of 5. So I have my 5 double crochet there, and now I'm going to chain 4 again, and we're going to be repeating what we just did. So I've got my 4 chains. I'm going to skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work 8 single crochet in the next 8 stitches. And I just wanted to share, which I didn't make that clear, we are working in rounds and there will be no turning in these rounds. So we're just going to keep on going around and around. So I have my 8 single crochet. Now I'm going to chain 4. And of course got to fly out of there at least once or twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skipping 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on our next stitch we're working a double crochet. We'll work 5 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So there's the first double crochet, second one, so I have my 5 double crochet, and I'm going to chain 4. So you're just going to keep doing that all the way around, and when you get to your corner stitches, you should work 5 double crochet all in that corner. So you won't work, you should come to 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your center stitch and work your 5 double crochet in there. So then you, so it's 8 single crochet, 4 chains, 5 double crochet, skipping 4 stitches. Chain 4, skipping 4, 8 single crochet, chain 4, skipping 4, 5 double crochet, all the way around. So I will meet you back at the end of this round, of round 2. Okay, I just wanted to show you I'm still working on round 2 here. So I have completed up to the second corner here. So we have our 8 single crochet, and now I'm going to chain 4. And then we should have 4 stitches to skip. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, and now there's our corner. So I'm going to pull that guy out. And I'm going to work 5 double crochet in that corner. And so now we've got our second corner established, and now we're going to chain 4, and we're back to our stitch pattern. Alright, so I am just about done round 2 of our border here. So I'm going to work my last chain 4. Whoops. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. My hook likes to fly out of the stitch a lot. Okay, and then we'll have 4 stitches that we need to skip. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we are good to go. We're going to join on top of that chain 3 there, and we will have completed round 2. So at the end of round 2 of this border, you're going to have a total of 56 chain 4 spaces right here, and you'll know that you're on the right track. So now we are going to get started on round 3 of our border. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to slip stitch in the next double crochet, the center double crochet and the next one. So in our 5 double crochet group, this is the second to the last, so stitch number 4. So once you've slip stitched into stitch number 4 of this double crochet group, 5 double crochet group, you're going to chain 3. And again, this is going to count as a stitch. Yeah, it's not going to count as a stick, it's going to count as a stitch. Alright, so now you're going to double crochet in the next double crochet here. And you are going to double crochet in this first chain right here. So however you want to work in the chain, just pop a double crochet stitch in there. And now we are going to chain 4. And we're going to come up to this 8 stitches of single crochet. We're going to skip this first single crochet and we're going to double crochet in the next 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stitches there. So now we need to chain 4 again. And here is your chain 4 space. So you're going to skip 3 chains and double crochet in this very last chain here. And you're going to double crochet in the next 2 double crochet, so 1 stitch in each. And now we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to skip this middle, the center double crochet, and double crochet in the next 2. And we are going to double crochet in the very next chain. So this is the start of the next repeat. So right here when you work your 3 double crochets is the start of the next repeat. So after you've worked these 3 double crochets here, and I said before that this is the beginning of the repeat, which you're going to do all the way around your blanket here. You're going to chain 4. You're going to skip this first single crochet and double crochet, or not double crochet. You're going to skip this first single crochet and single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we'll chain 4 again. And we're going to skip 3 chains here and double crochet in this last one, so chain number 4. And then the end of the repeat, you're going to chain 3. Chain 3 and skip 1 double crochet, and then we start all over again of double crochet in the next 2 double crochet, double crochet in this first chain here, chain 4, skip this first single crochet here and single crochet in the next 6. So you can understand why it was really important to mark your corners. And now we don't need the stitch markers anymore. It's just, you know, the first round of the border with the single crochet is really important. So you just want to take a little extra time, you know, to make sure your stitches are spaced out nicely and your corners are marked well, so that you're working in all of the correct stitches. So now we chain 4 after we work those 6 single crochet, and we're going to skip 3 chains, double crochet in that last chain there, double crochet in the next 2 double crochet, And now we're chaining 3. And we're ending with that repeat. So now you're going to skip this double crochet, the center one. And we're going to continue on with the repeat. So I'm going to continue working this repeat all the way around for round 3 of our border. So I will meet you back when I get to the end of round 3. Alright, so I'm almost done round 3 here. So to finish up round 3, you're going to chain 4. So we're at our last 6 single crochet here. So I have chained 4. And we are going to skip the next 3 chains. And then double crochet in the last chain there. She's a wee bit tight there, but we figured it out. We got it done. Alright, so now we are just going to double crochet on top of this chain 3 here, which counts as a stitch. And then we're going to double crochet in this double crochet. So you're just going to double crochet underneath that slip stitch, because remember we slip stitched there to get started for round 3. And now we are done. So we're going to finish it up by chaining 3, and you'll join in your first on top of your chain 3 there with a slip stitch, and round 3 is complete. So to start round 4, we're going to chain 1, slip stitch in the next stitch, and we're going to chain 3, double crochet in the next double crochet there. So it will be similar to round 4 is similar to round 3. And now we're going to double crochet in the very first chain here. And now we're going to chain 4 again. So you're going to skip this first single crochet here and single crochet in the next. And in the next 3 after that. So for a total of 4 single crochet that you're working in. So you're going to see that with these single crochet stitches as you go along in the pattern, it's actually like forming a triangle shape. So now we're going to chain 4 again. And we are going to skip 3 stitches, three chains, but they are stitches, but 3 chains, and then double crochet in the next chain. Double crochet in the next double crochet in the next. So now we're at our chain 3 space here. So what you're going to do is chain 3, and we are going to single crochet right around that chain 3 space that we made in round 3, and we're going to chain 3 again. And now we are going to be ready for the beginning of the repeat. So you're going to skip this double crochet and double crochet in the next double crochet in the next one, and you're going to double crochet in the first chain there, and after you double crocheted in that chain, you're going to chain 4, and you're back to your single crochet section. So you're going to skip this first single crochet and then double crochet in the next 4. And now we are going to chain 4. And you're going to skip 3 chains, double crochet in the next chain. And now you're going to double crochet on top of that first double crochet there. Double crochet in the next double crochet. So we're going to chain 3. single crochet around the previous chain 3 space, and we're going to chain 3, and the first repeat is finished. So you're going to repeat that again, skip that double crochet in the next 2 double crochet, and we have a tangle. So now we're going to double crochet in that first chain, chain 4, skip 3 chains, or actually we're going to skip all these chains and skip this first single crochet and single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So I've single crocheted in the next 4. I'm going to chain 4. And the hook flies out. There we go. And skip 3 chains, double crochet in the next chain. Double crochet in the next 2 double crochet. Almost done this repeat again, chain 3. Single crochet around the chain 3 space and chain 3, and you're going to repeat that whole thing again. So I'm going to continue around for round 4, and then I will meet you back at the end of round 4. Alright, so I have just completed round 4 of our edging, our first edging that we're going to do. This is the more complicated edging, you know, it has the fancier edging, I guess. Okay, so I have completed round 4. I have my chain 4, I joined on top of my first chain 3. Now I'm going to slip stitch in the next double crochet, and I am going to chain 3. Yep, there we go again. If you've watched enough of my videos, you know my hook likes to fly out of the stitch for some reason. Alright, so now we are going to double crochet in the next double crochet. And we're going to double crochet in this first chain right here. So after we have double crocheted in our first chain right there, we're going to chain 4 again, like we've been doing for the other rounds. Alrighty, let's get that chain 4 done. Having all kinds of problems. Alright, so now we are going to skip this first single crochet here, and we're going to single crochet in the next 2 single crochet, so 1 stitch in each. So as you can see, we've created our little triangle effect there, and we're going to chain 4. And now we are going to skip 3 chains, just like we've been doing in the previous rounds, and double crochet in the next round, in the next chain. And we'll double crochet 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. For some reason this yarn is splitting. It's not really a splitting type of yarn, so I'm not sure what the problem is, but we're going to work through it. Okay, so now we are going to chain 3. And we're going to single crochet in this chain 3 space here. And now we are going to chain 7. So we have our 7 chains, and we're going to single crochet in that next chain 3 space, so we've created a big loop there. Now we're going to chain 3 again. And we're going to get ready to start the very first repeat here. So this was just setting up, and then for the written pattern, this is, you know, the repeat, because there will be a written pattern. So we've chained 3. We're going to double crochet, skip this double crochet in the next 2. And we are going to double crochet in this first chain here. And now we are going to chain 4. having all kinds of issues with this round. It's like it doesn't want to get done, but it will get done. Alright, so now we are going to skip this first single crochet and single crochet in the next two. Working in both loops, geez Louise. Alright, so now we're going to chain 4. It's like I never crocheted before in my life. Alright, so we're chained 4. Now we're going to skip 3 chains and we're going to double crochet in the next chain there. And double crochet in the next 2 double crochet, 1 stitch in each. And now we are at our chain 3 section, so we are going to chain 3 and single crochet around that chain 3 space. And now we are going to chain 7. So we have our 7 chains, and we're going to single crochet around the next chain 3 space. And now we are going to chain 3 and skip this first double crochet, and we're back to the repeat again. So you'll skip this first double crochet in the next 2 stitches there. So there's the 1, 2, and we're back to double crocheting in that first chain there, and chaining 4, and skipping this first single crochet and double crocheting in, not double crocheting, single crochet in the next single crochet and in the next one. So I'm going to continue with this repeat that we did right here all the way around, and I will meet you back. Alright, so I'm almost done round 5 of our lacy border here of this baby blanket, or it could be, I guess, a lap blanket as well. So I am working on my 3 double crochets here. Now I'm going to chain 3 and single crochet around that chain 3 space there. And now I'm chaining 7. And we're going to single crochet around that guy. And 1 more chain 3. And we will slip stitch or join on top of that first chain 3, and round 5 is complete. So now we are getting ready for round 6. So we're going to slip stitch in this next double crochet, and we're going to chain 3, and we're going to double crochet in that next double crochet, and now we're going to double crochet in this first chain right here, now we are going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet right on top of that single crochet. We're going to single crochet in the next single crochet, and we're going to chain 1 again and skip 3 chains and double crochet in the next chain, and double crochet in the next 2 double crochet, so 1 stitch in each. So we will chain 3 again and single crochet around that chain 3. Now we're going to be working in this chain 7 space here. So we are going to be working some cluster stitches, so just a bunch of stitches grouped together. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to pull up a loop around there, so we have 3 loops there. We're working in this chain 7 space, yarn over, pull through 2, so now we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over again, get right back in there, pull up our loop, We have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. We have 3. We're going to do this one more time till we have 4 loops. So we have 5, yarning over, pulling through 2. Oh, we're splitting up there. There we go. So now we have our 4 loops. We're going to finish off the stitch by pulling through all 4. So one of our cluster stitches has been completed. So now we are chaining 3 and we're going to work another cluster stitch. So we're going to work 5 cluster stitches and chain 3 in between. So I yarned over, pulled up a loop, and then yarned over, pulled through 2, so now I have 2, yarn over again. We have 3. So it's kind of like you're starting a double crochet stitch. Now we have our 4 loops. Yarn over, pull through all 4 of those. So chain 3. And I'll do this next one a little bit more slowly. So I've got my yarn over already started, working around this chain 7. I'm pulling up my loop. So I have my 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over again. We're going to go right back around that chain 7, yarn over, pull through 2. So we have our 3, yarn over, right back around again, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 4. So we have 3 cluster stitches, 1, 2, 3, chaining. So we want to work 2 more. So we will have 4 chain 3 spaces in between our cluster. So 1, 2, 3, so I need to chain 3, work my last cluster. So now what we're going to do is single crochet right around the next chain 3 space here, chain 3, and skip this double crochet in the next, double crochet in the next stitch, and double crochet in this first chain. So this is starting the repeat here. So we've just started the repeat here. So the start of the repeat is these 3 double crochets. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet in the very next single crochet and single crochet in the next, chain 1 again, skip 3 chains and double crochet in the next chain, double crochet in the next double crochet, double crochet in the next double crochet. Now we are going to chain 3 and single crochet around this chain 3 space right here. And now we're ready to work these cluster stitches again. So we're working 5 clusters with chain 3 spaces in between. So after you have created your 5 clusters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 4 spaces, you're going to single crochet around that next chain 3 space. We are going to chain 3 and skip the next double crochet, work 1 double crochet in the next 2. Actually, this is the end of the repeat here. So this is 1 complete repeat starting from here to here, and then the chain 3 is the end, and now we're back to the beginning of skipping one double crochet, double crocheting in the next one, and then the next double crochet. And then double crocheting in this first chain here. So I'm going to continue this all the way around. Alright, so I am finishing up round 6 here. So I've got my last chain 3, and I'm going to join on top of my first chain 3, and round 6 is going to be completed. So now we're going to slip stitch in the next double crochet. This is round 7, and this will be the last round. So then your blanket will be done. So what we're going to do is chain 1, and we are going to single crochet in that double crochet there. This next stitch here, you're going to work a half double crochet. And then in this chain 1 space in this single crochet, we are going to work a decrease or a together stitch, a double crochet, decrease or together stitch. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, insert your hook in that first chain, pull up your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, insert your hook into the next single crochet, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have our 3 loops, and yarn over, pull through all 3. So what you're going to do after you work your together stitch is we are going to chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch in the second chain from our hook. Just creates like a little picot stitch there. And now we're going to work a double crochet decrease again with the single crochet and chain 1 space. So yarn over, right in that single crochet stitch, pull up our loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, insert your hook in the next chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3 of those guys. So now we have our little picot, and we are almost done this section. So now we're up to these 3 double crochet. So now you're going to half double crochet and single crochet. I get some more yarn here. There we go. So after that, we are going to chain 3. So you're going to leave this double crochet unworked like we've been doing, and we're going to single crochet around that chain 3 space. And now we are going to work a single crochet on top of this cluster stitch right here. So this is the start of the repeat here. We're going to single crochet here, top of the cluster, and we are going to chain 2, and we're going to slip stitch in that second chain from our hook to create our little picot there. And now we're going to single crochet around this chain 3 space, chain 2, and single crochet right back in that chain 2 space. Now we're back to our cluster, and we're working our single crochet, chain 2, slip stitch in the second chain from our hook, and single crochet in the next chain 2 space, chain 2, or chain 3 space, I'm sorry, chain 2 in the chain 3 space, and single crochet right back in there. So we're just creating a little bit of a decorative look there. And we're going to single crochet right back in that cluster, chain 2, and slip stitch, and that second chain from our hook, and single crochet back into that chain 3 space, chain 2, single crochet. So we are back to our cluster stitch here, so single crochet in there, chain 2, slip stitch, single crochet on the cluster stitch, chain 2, or I mean in the chain 3 space, and chain 2, sorry about that. So we have one more cluster stitch, and we have single crochet in there. We're going to chain 2, slip stitch, Now we are going to single crochet around this chain 3 space, chain 3, almost done this repeat here, whoops, always has to do that. And now we're skipping this double crochet, we're going to single crochet in the next double crochet, half double crochet in the next double crochet. So now we're going to work our decrease or together stitch in the chain and the single crochet, so our double crochet decrease or together. So now we're going to chain 2, work our little picot, slip stitch in the second chain from our hook, and we're back to the together stitch here with the single crochet and the chain 1. And now we are going to half double crochet in the next double crochet and single crochet in the next double crochet, chain 3, and then we'll single crochet around that chain 3 space. So that whole repeat has been completed. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to continue this repeat of this single crochet and your half double crochet and the decrease stitches, your picots, and then you're working your chain 3 here, single crochet around that chain 3 space. You're going to single crochet on top of that first cluster, work your picot, single crochet, chain 2 in the spaces. So you're going to continue that all the way around, and then you will join in your first stitch here. Where is she? There we go. So you're going to join in this first single crochet, and you can cut your yarn, and then you will be done your border for this blanket. Okay, so now we are going to work the second edging option that I have for this blanket. So I have completed my 77 rows, and now I am at the end of row 77, and you're going to do the same thing that you did for the other edging. So we are going to chain 1 and work 3 single crochet right in this corner here. Now you do not have to mark the corner, but as we did before, it's not going to be as important as marking the center stitch as the other one, but you still want to make sure you have the correct stitch count. So you're going to have 3 single crochet in each of the corners, and just like the other blanket that or the other edging we did, you're going to have 140 single crochet down the sides, and then on the bottom, the other side, and then this is the top, you're going to work 140. And in each corner, you're going to work 3 single crochet. So your single crochets, you're not going to count them in this stitch. So I've worked 3. So my first stitch for the out of the 140 is going to be right here. So this will be stitch 1, 2, 3. So you're going to want to do the same thing as I said. So 140, work your 3 single crochets in each, and then you'll come to the end here. And if you want to use your stitch markers, I certainly encourage you to do that, just how I showed you with that trick of, you can fold this in halves, place your stitch marker there, and then you could even, divide it up into fourths so that, 140, so half of 140 is 70, and then half of 70 is 35. And then that might make it easier to, space out your single crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and work my 140 down this side, my corners, and my 140 on the bottom, and all the way around. So I will meet you back. Okay, so I have completed my single crochets around this blanket. So we have our corner stitches, which is the 3 single crochet, and then the 140 on the sides here. And again, the corner stitches don't count when you're working the 140. So now we're ready for round 2. So I have joined in my first stitch, and I changed to a different color, and we are going to chain 3. So this is going to count as a stitch, our chain 3 here. So now we are at our center stitch and we're going to work 3 double crochet in there. So this is going to be a very simple round. You're just going to double crochet all the way around, and when you get to the center stitch, 3 of your corners, you are just going to work 3 double crochet in that center stitch. I'm not going to worry about stitch count, as if you did the proper count before, then you should be fine and good to go. So I am going to just continue and work my double crochet all the way around. Alright, so we are working this simple border, or less complicated border, for this blanket here. And so what I have done is we worked this double crochet round here where you worked the 3 double crochet in your center stitch there in the corner. So I went ahead and already worked round 3. The only thing you need to do for round 3 is you're going to chain 3 to start. This is going to count as your stitch, and you're just going to double crochet, work even all the way around for chain 3. So you don't have to increase in the corners, you're just going to work even all the way around. So I already completed round 3, and now I'm going to get ready to do round 4, which is the final round. So at the end of round 3, I'm joining on top of my first chain 3 there. And now we're ready to start round 4. So for round 4, you're going to chain 3, and it's going to be slightly different. You are going to turn, so you're going to work on the wrong side. So you can see I have all these ends here. I actually didn't have enough of this white, and then I found another white, and I didn't have enough of that to finish it. So now we're on our 3rd white. So we're kind of cobbling it together. So hopefully you'll have enough of the same color, or you could do a different color for each round, you know, but I wanted it to be white, so you know, it kind of, I don't think you're really going to notice it too much. So anyway, backstory on the white. So we chain 3, we're turning, we're working on the wrong side. So we're going to work, this is our setup stitch here. It's going to be setting up of our cluster stitches. So I chain 3, I yarned over, I'm going to insert my hook right in that same stitch, pull up a loop. I have 3 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, go right back in that same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2. So I have 3 loops. I'm going to yarn over and pull through those final 3. So that first setup cluster is finished. Now we're going to chain 2. So this is going to be a little bit similar if you saw the Lacy border. This is a picot stitch. So we chain 2 and we're slip stitching in the second chain from our hook. And the first cluster is completed. So now we are going to skip this next stitch and you're going to work in the next. You're going to work, this is the actual stitch pattern here. This was just the setup. So I have my yarn over, I insert my hook in that first double crochet stitch. We're skipping the one, working in the other. So yarning over, pull through the 2, yarning over again, right back in that same stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over. So now I have my 4 loops. This is actually, the yarn's splitting, so it looks a little like there's an extra one, but once it's all combined, it'll be fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through all 4 of those loops. Get that guy. There we go. See, disappeared. So now we're going to chain 2, slip stitch in the second chain to create the picot. And now we are going to skip the next double crochet and work our cluster in the next. So I yarned over, pulling up a loop. I have my 3 loops on there, yarn over, pull through 2. I have 2 loops, yarn over, go right back in that stitch, pull up a loop. I have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. So now I have 3. We're going to yarn over, go right back in that stitch. I have 5 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. So these are my remaining 4 loops. I'm going to yarn over, pull through those remaining 4 loops, and then chain 2, slip stitch to work my little picot. And the reason why we're working on the wrong side is the picots, they kind of go like this. They kind of go down. So I want them to really show on the other side. So when you see it on the other side, then you can see the picots are really nice in front and center. So I really wanted them to show. So that's why we're working on the wrong side. So there is a method to my madness. So you're going to continue this all the way around. You're going to skip the next stitch, work your cluster, work your picot stitch by chaining 2, slip stitching all the way around. And at the end, you're going to join on top of this first cluster, and then your border will be finished.